Do you remember that time when you were 18 or 19 and got your first paycheck and spent an ungodly amount of money on a ridiculous item like shoes or a video game? And your mom got mad at you and told you to be more responsible with your money and made fun of you till you cried? That happens to everyone, right? Not just me. From a few hundred to 60 to 80,000. This is how much people have spent on items that you wouldn't believe. These purchases will leave you thinking if the right people got money. Being rich also makes you stupid. We've all heard stories about people paying ridiculous amounts of money for items that are really pointless in any normal person's eyes. Like spending 2-3 times the amount for a very average burger, or buying clothes and bags for 10 times what they're worth just because they happen to have a big Gucci label on it. Here are some of those idiotic purchases. 1. Tiny bag. Have you ever had the problem of your bag being too big to carry? Well, you're in luck because I have found the bag for you. Mischief, a company that makes artistic items, has made the world's smallest bag for the inconvenienced customer. This Louis Vuitton bag that is smaller than a grain of salt has been sold for, get this, $63,750. It's not even real LV. The company just decided to slap the logo on it without asking permission, saying we're big in the asking for forgiveness and not permission school. It does come with its own microscope so you can see it. Let's face it, even in something this small, we all have a friend that are gonna lose their earphones in it. While talking about mischief, do you remember that time Lil Nas X was selling his shoes infused with his blood? Yeah, it was these guys, selling a shoe at 10 times the price. I'm sure there's a joke in there about a gay guy and his blood, but YouTube won't let us do that. 2. Empty painting. A Danish modern art museum was looking to add new pieces to its exhibit, so it commissioned artist Jans Hanning to do 2 paintings for them. The contracts were signed and they were waiting on the delivery. Once it came, they were shocked to see that Jans had sent them 2 blank canvases, titling them, "Take the Money and Run." He gave an explanation saying it was a commentary about poor wages and the conditions that asks the worker to spend their own money, and that they should take the money and run. But the dude got paid 84 grand for it. If you ask me, I think he's a genius, but got lazy and bold and wanted to see how far he could take this. He's laughing all the way to the bank. 3. An app. Back in the early days of smartphones, specifically in 2008, apps were new and everyone was looking for the new and hip thing on their phones to be cool and relevant. When seeing how much everyone is paying for their apps, Armin Heinrich, a German developer, as a joke decided to put together a silly app he called I Am Rich and put it up on the App Store for a price. Now the app was not very functional. All it did was show a red gem, and when you pressed it, it displayed a mantra that says, "I am rich, I deserve it, I am good, healthy, and successful." When asked about it, Heinrich described it as a work of art with no hidden functions at all. As much criticism as it received by news outlets like Fox and The Wire, the app was actually successful, with 8 people actually downloading it, paying $999 real dollars. It was amazing enough that only 2 were accidental. That's iPhone users for you. Always doing it for the clout. Android's better. Fight me in the comments. I dare you. 4. Gold water. Someone spent $60,000 on a bottle of water. Yeah, you heard me right. A human person looked at a bottle of good old H2O and decided, yeah, that should be worth 60 grand. Acqua di Cristallo is the world's most expensive bottle of water, and is a glass bottle covered with 24 karat gold and shaped based on the artwork of an Italian artist. This might have you saying, okay, at least this wasn't an auction. Oh, but it gets worse. Most of you have a fridge in your homes, right? And you've probably seen an ice cube before. And I'm certain none of you thought about the price of said ice cubes. Glaze is a company in California that says luxury ice cubes. These people claim that their ice is superior to yours by saying the normal tap water ice has many impurities that result in poor taste. So they are fixing that problem by giving you purified ice cubes. They sell for $325 per 50 cubes. 50 cubes, people! Oh, and you'll never guess what they claim. Their website reads, "Our elegant design provides minimum dilution and maximum cooling, greatly enhancing enjoyment at the point of consumption." Now, some of you with big brains might ask what kind of design this might be. It's a damn cube. There's no design to it. Sometimes rich people need to be put in their savings classes, I swear. 5. Name in the sand. On a sandy island in Abu Dhabi, there's a name carved into it. Sheikh Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan, who is 63 by the way, decided that it was a great idea to spend money writing his name in the sand. Except his name is a mile across and half a mile wide. Our man decided to write Hamad in capital letters across his island, big enough so that it can be seen from space. Though official numbers haven't been released, publishings are suggesting that it costs around $22 billion. That's with a B, for a throwaway project. Yeah, a throwaway project. After all that money and labor was spent digging a fancy hole for the man, they just decided to get rid of it. Sometime last year, the name was no longer there on satellite images, and even people who have visited the island said that it was no longer there. When questioned about the name's disappearance, a person working for the Sheikh's Abu Dhabi office simply said, "We deleted it." Like hitting the backspace on a keyboard. There's rich, and then there's Arab rich. If you made it this far, then let me tell you about why I think these people would want to spend an ungodly amount of money for such pointless products. Economist Fred Hirsch coined a term, a positional good. Something that drives value not by the availability of the item, but by how they are distributed among the population. Meaning it isn't about how many of them there are, but who has it that determines the value. In other words, these items are considered to be valuable or desirable simply because they are seen as status symbols, and society collectively sees them as valuable regardless of their abundance. Now, this is my idea, but what do you think is the reason behind these ridiculous purchases? Is it some psychological thing, or is it just rich idiots being rich idiots? And would you be spending your money on these things if you could? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for watching.